I pulled into Montreal next. And I have this relationship with Montreal that's kind of interesting. Been there a few times as a kid, as an adult, and only had a good time once when I was there by myself. What I found in Montreal was very cold place, very similar to New York, where almost 2 million people live there, and yet you could find yourself feeling lonely. So as I walked around the streets of Montreal, trying to let this sensation go, this feeling of not quite loneliness, but just not being connected, not being part of the community as I have felt in other parts, for example in Quebec City. I noticed there wasn't much support for homeless and mentally ill people. Skies were gray, the people were kind of bustling, kind of getting to where they needed to go. I went to the university, to McGill, and there again, quite busy, people just walking to where they were going, but not with that sense of connectedness, of belonging. And it kind of reminds me now, as I create this video, of this kid I met about a few days ago. And I was in Vancouver at the Steam Clock, and I saw this young kid, maybe 18 years old or so, with his friend, and they had this camera, this box camera, and they had a printer. And they looked to be artists. They looked to be a little different than their peers who were all dressed in fashion gear, and the tourists that were there. So these two would stand in front of this Steam Clock, which is a tourist attraction, and just offer to take pictures to the tourists for free. And if they wanted to donate, they would donate. And he printed these really beautiful prints, and I'll show one in my slides. In that moment I felt, wow, here's an artist whom created a way to connect to people, and who else to connect to than tourists, right? Tourists are open, tourists are hungry, are curious to know about the locals and to know what is going on and where to go and what must they see. So these two fellows were just out there taking pictures, people feeling really appreciative of what they were doing, and they were really, really happy at doing it. And in retrospect, I wish I would have taken a photo of them, because just to highlight them. But I think in this case, what's most important, getting back to Montreal, is that when we're in a city like New York or Montreal, where we don't necessarily feel like we belong, or alone and lost, that maybe that's a good opportunity to create a purpose, to find where could we insert ourselves. Tourist community is a great opportunity because, again, they're hungry for information. Be that as it may, whenever we are in a big city and feeling disconnected or not belonging, purposeless, it might be a good idea to think about an opportunity to serve people. And that's where we could find a connection. I didn't find that in Montreal. But as I reflect back on the city and how similar it was to New York, that does come to mind.